Hello, welcome back, my Battle Language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language guy, and well, we are in another live today. A very laid back live, something very quiet, informal. It's gonna be today. We're not gonna be talking about the royal family, unless, well, you ask any questions about the royal family. I will just be answering most of your questions as long as they will abide by certain rules, are respectful, and of course, well, there's something information, especially personal information, that I would not be revealing. But as long as I can answer them, rest assured that I will. I'm still setting up things here. Glad to have you back. Let me see. Check this on YouTube. Last minute adjustments. Last minute adjustments. All right. Let me see. Oh my God, I messed this up. Oh, all right. I'm back in here. I'll be starting in a minute. Less than a minute. Just less than a minute. I just have to make sure. Less than a minute. Oh, DS. For moderation, yes, make sure that moderation is working. All right. I will start to answer your questions. What you ask on YouTube, on my on the community post that I did. Want to make sure how you can listen to me properly. And the questions that you sent on Twitter, and then of course the questions that you will be sending here. I don't know how long will be in here, but let's start. Let's see. Standard Landman, not often that I catch you this early. Welcome. Why were you picked on school, and did that motivate you to be the success you are today? Well, I don't think that motivated me, but many things along my life motivated me to be here. Especially survival, after me and my family left Venezuela for reasons that you're about to find out, because that question is asked down the line. I already saw some of your questions, and you'll be understanding why I had to leave Venezuela. And that has a lot to do with the political unrest. We are not getting political in this Q&A. But yeah, I was picked on in school because I couldn't pronounce my last name properly, Rosas. I couldn't roll my R's until, I don't know, like 12 or 13 years old. So it was embarrassing enough. Very shy, very quiet boy. I always spoke the last, but I had this this philosophy. Was not philosophy at the time, just this technique, or what I did, and say, well, I don't like to talk, I don't like to speak, but at some point I will have to speak. But I want to make sure that the moment I speak, people will listen to what I say, and I'm not gonna talk fluff, or when I say anything, it's gonna be something memorable. It has to be something special. So to do that, I had to listen to other people, what they said, so as to not repeat what they said, and of course try to complement or paraphrase or say something that was like an addition to what was already been said. So in that sense, that shyness is, as I tell you many times, a weakness. We can say that shyness is some kind of weakness, but in that case, it forced me to read the room and to listen to everybody and to observe everybody. I have no idea. We're talking about elementary school. So the moment that I talk, I made sure that it was relevant. It was important. It was like something that people really listened to me. I was really mindful, really afraid of people not listening to me or not paying attention to me. Really insecure for personal reasons for my upbringing. There's a question around there. Said, were you happy as a child? Well, the short answer, the quick answer is no, for reasons that I'm not going to reveal here. But you might have, in regards of the topics that I touch in this channel, you might have already the idea that there's some narcissism around there. So that could be one of the reasons. That I'm grateful that even if this is not a clickbaity topic, there are 1,000 body language buddies watching right now all over. I'm retaking this live streams on Facebook, on Rumble, on Twitter, and on Twitch too, and of course on YouTube. And there's 1,000 body language buddies watching right now. So that pleases me, that even if it's not like gossip, we're gonna be talking about a bit of gossip. You still want to be here. Okay, what presents did you get for a birthday? Well, I get quite well. The most important present, I think, was some mechanical pegs for my cello. That is right, the cello that you saw right beside me. It's something that I want to like tune up my cello. Is that tune up? Like tuning up, like you tune up a car? I want to pimp my cello, so I'm slowly buying parts to improve it, like upgrading that. So that's I think the greatest gift I had for my birthday. My birthday was last month on September, on one day of September, but you already know that. Many of you already know, have guessed right, that I'm a Virgo, so maybe that's why you understand. You know why I'm have so much attention to detail. Okay, that's a riddle I usually make when people ask me my birthday. I don't tell them the day, the exact day or the exact month. I just tell them. I have quite attention to detail, and then most of people that ask me that question get the message. Oh wait, you were born in September. Yeah, they get the message straight. By the way, one of the greatest compliments I've had was that one. You have such an amazing attention to detail. Someone quite special told me that, and I was flattered. I never thought of that as a compliment, but that felt really good. All right, so many comments here. I'm trying to keep up. I will stay with the answers in the questions in here, in YouTube and in Twitter, and I will try to review also your questions on the chat. But even at 1,000 1,000 body language buddies, there's a lot of comments in here. Thanks for coming back. A lot of Virgos in the house. Where do you live? Oh, that is redacted information. Inside a volcano, inside a pineapple under the sea. That's why I always say 5 minutes later. That's why I always give that answer. Will Harry ever leave his warden? I don't think so. What a mess he stepped in. I don't think so. He's invested so much. He has lost so much in that relationship. I don't think he will leave anytime soon, unless something truly traumatic to him personally as a man happens. Nothing. No other way. What's your favorite drink? Japanese whiskey, hands down. Many of you already know that. I haven't. By the way, for some of you that are worried about my intake of alcohol, it's just like once or one drink, like every other week. It's nothing. It's very, very casual, extremely casual. Ask you anything. Your command of English is impressive. What other languages do you speak, or are you planning to learn? I've always wanted to learn. Well, I was trying to retake or go back to my German. German's a beautiful language. When people say that German sounds like angry, I disagree. Yeah, it has some strong sounds, but I disagree. I think it's actually beautiful. I think it's both French and German have very beautiful sounds. Um, and it's especially because I would like to travel more around Europe, and I think German can help me a lot with that. Because English, of course, have helped me wonders everywhere I go. In fact, I started learning English just because video games exclusively. That was like what, like 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I began to learn English, and as you can see, I'm still learning with you every day. I'm still learning new words. Like the other day that I learned the word newbie. I knew the word, of course. I knew the words like since 30 years ago, but I never paid attention to how do you pronounce that. Well, you are still 30 years in. I'm still learning English, so that's what we have. Of course, I would love to learn Japanese. Spoken Japanese is quite easy if you put effort into that. You could learn, I think, in 3 or 4 months. But written Japanese with his 3 alphabets and 2,000 kanji only to read the newspapers, well, that's a bit daunting, of course. I would love to go to Japan, by the way. And there's one language that I always loved. It's Italian. Italian is it's also beautiful. It's beautiful. Do you think Jesus lives in Europe? Well, I don't know. Is you want a pin? You want a? I've been traveling a lot lately. By the way, I still don't have a specific location. I'm like a gypsy now, all over the place. I don't know where I'm gonna. I always wanted to be a nomad, and I'm somehow living right now the nomad life, and I'm trying to get the hang of it, trying to make sense of it. Well, but let's see what happens a couple of years down the line. What is your opinion of the Bowsy lawsuit, and will you be covering it on your channel if it goes to trial? Well, I most probably won't be covering it because most people don't know who is Christopher Bowsy, and I, for one, am not going to amplify that character, that subject, for free. I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this. No, I will just be eating my popcorn and see what happens. Okay, that's it. If they need my help in regards of amplifying any message, well, I will be willing to, because I think what he has done in many ways is not ethical. I think it has not been ethical. Portugal, yeah, Portugal is a nice place to be a nomad. I have just a bit of ancestry. Is this the right way of stressing that word? Ancestry. How do you say that? Maybe later. Oh my God, my dictionary. Ancestry is ancestry. In the first syllable, ancestry. I have a bit of Portuguese ancestry around there, so maybe I should go again. I visited Portugal a couple times. Do you get restless leg syndrome? I used to get more restless leg syndrome, but not that much lately. I think that I've learned, I guess, to control it, but not in a rational way. Why do you think Meghan and Harry hide their children away? Do you think they are ashamed of them for some reason? Maybe they don't have orange afros. No, I think they are mindful of their brand. Okay, the brand of the children. Of course, we have all this alleged treatment of the children, which is everything is a speculation. But I think they in marketing terms, they're mindful of their children's brand. So when they are like saving, showing their children for special occasions when it is actually needed, and at the same time, of course, it's maybe they are interested on keeping their children private, but it will always be convenient when they release photos of their children, because there will be such a moment, such an event. And that is something that you do in terms of brand image. That's something very helpful in terms of public relations. How to know if someone is lying? Well, that is a very complex question, and I will take 2 hours to answer in full. You have seen my friends at the behavior panel, and you see that even 4 guys have so many insights about that. That will be an interesting conversation with them. But I think I've shown you in some of my videos that it all boils down to contradictions, and contradictions in body language and in general posture and the way how people are willing to answer and the words they choose. What do they try to hide in their words? What do they try to emphasize? If they try to change the subject, if they evade questions, you realize that I've told you many times that you begin stacking signals, and until you have some certainty that the person maybe is not actively lying, but they are concealing information which is much more common. They are concealing information that could harm them in some way, or could harm someone that they love, and that is usually what the most common scenario. So how to know if someone is lying is just try to talk to them and listen. And we active listening. I'm telling you that this background since childhood, that being forced to listen, it's paramount, because we are not told how to properly listen. Even in elementary school, the first lesson that you get is that you have to look into the person to the face, that you have to shut up until it's your turn, that you should not interrupt, and we break those rules all the time. And I think we should go back to those elementary school rules, because they're sound. They are the real deal. Just to listen, and just by listening, you can not only discover or uncover liars, but also learn a lot of people around you. Oh, I'm still trying to figure if Little Prince Louis' behavior at the Jubilee is saying the pomp and performance is appealing. Why? I think it was who was acting like a regular 4-year-old. You can have all the pomp and circumstances, but 4-year-old wants to do things, wants to experience things, not just to absorb them, not just to sit and absorb something. That at that age we want to do things. So that's later when we develop the discipline to just sit and listen, and that is not something. Sometimes we need to sit and listen, but at that age, that behavior is normal for him. Are you single? This is are you single or taken? Well, has been asked so much. I have to say that. Well, I'm just like the Liam Neeson movie. If you can make of that what you will. Like the Liam Neeson movie. You know which movie? Which movie? Tell me in the comments if you know which Liam Neeson movie am I talking about. When did you first suspect Meghan was evil? When do you think their marriage will end? Well, this is the answer to another question. Yes, Kelly McVeigh won the prize. Kelly, you won the prize. You were the first one to answer. Taken. Yes. Take that Liam Neeson movie. I'm taken. Yes. When did you first suspect Meghan was evil? When do you think their marriage will end? Well, before the Oprah interview, I just made 1 or 2 analysis on Meghan and Harry in Spanish back in my previous channel. And it was like not paying attention at all, not interested at all, not focused at all in that. But yes, after that interview, I have no idea of what was all this British royal family about. I knew about the royal family, of course. Everybody knows. It's impossible not to know about them. As I told you at some point, I knew exactly where I was and what I was doing when I found out when Princess Diana died. I was playing dominoes at someone's house. I remember that. We were listening to the radio and we were shocked. So I think it was from that moment, from that Oprah interview, that this is strange. How can someone speak in this way, have this many contradictions? And then there was this lists of 17 things that Meghan said that are not true, and I said, well, this certainly is exploding in some way. My audience was asking me all sorts of questions about this, and I said, well, this is interesting. And of course, my Twitter exploded back then, and I decided to make a couple videos about her. It was not until very far down the line in October last year that I decided to be hands-on, full-on the royal family. If you weren't to be a body language guy, what would your career of choice be? Oh, and also, what's your favorite food? So random, but I'm hungry and curious at the same time. Oh my God, I love Japanese food. I love Italian food. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to decide between the two, Japanese and Italian. If you ever want to invite me for go out and invite for dinner, you already know the answer. Japanese or Italian, I will be more than happy. If I weren't a body language guy, I most probably be an artist. I love conceptual drawing, architectural drawing. You could see that I tried to go back to my artist roots. I made Prince William's portrait a while ago, but I was too rusty. I picked I'm very a perfectionist. I picked too difficult facial expression just to all of the blue after years of not picking up anything, almost anything. Trying to do something, but my real passion is architectural drawing and industrial drawing, conceptual drawing. I think that's what I will do now. I thought that maybe down the line when I'm like older, maybe 10 or 20 years, maybe at some point I would say, well, maybe right now I will study it formally. But who knows? You change so much along your life that your interests, your passions also evolve. So maybe that will change down the line. Who knows? What is the most beautiful lesson you have learned in your life? I was reading these questions earlier. These questions, NetGPT, what is the most beautiful lesson you have learned in your life? That question made me think a few minutes, more than a few minutes, a lot of minutes. And I think the most important lesson that I learned in my life that I can share with you is that we have to be kind to ourselves. That's something that we forget all the time. We are too harsh to ourselves. You made that mistake. You must be stupid. What was I thinking? I must have problems and mental health. I must be crazy. There's something wrong with me. I don't know why I do this. You have to stop that self-talk. You have to be mindful of your mistakes, of course. You have to be self-aware of what are your skills, what you. I never want to paint decisions as right or wrong. Like you made the right or wrong decisions. I always say that there are no right or wrong moves. There are just next moves. Okay? Yes, sometimes what we do might seem like not the best outcome. and or might seem like a catastrophe, and you might be too harsh on yourself. But you should be kind to yourself, because sometimes those catastrophes happen to be blessings years down the line. You realize what happened after that catastrophe, what you saw as a catastrophe by one of your decisions at that moment, turns out to be a blessing, and your life actually improved of that. That's what I like of old movies, like for example, Back to the Future. Back to the Future is like the story of this guy, Marty McFly, that has this regular life, that his father is like a weak father figure, and all this happens with this time machine, and Doc Brown that is killed, and he travels back in time, and all these shenanigans, and he comes back to the present. It turns out that after all that catastrophe that happened, he managed to fix things, and by the way, his life is better than he was at the beginning. So it was not a catastrophe. In fact, he could fix that. Of course, that's a movie, but I think the first step is to be kind to ourselves. That's the most important lesson that I've learned. There's nothing nice comes out of just blaming not blaming yourself. Is to hammering what you did over and over again. Just get over it. Be kind to yourself. Oh, you made mistakes. What is the next move? What can we do now? What if that happened? Can we turn it to be something good down the line? That's what we should do. Can you do an analysis on Britney Spears? I'll have this request. I've been very mindful of this, because things after she got free from that conservatorship, which was amazing. She looks like genuinely happy at the moment, but I think she needs maybe one or a couple years to really settle in on her life after what happened. It was this emotional and mental, manipulation for years, more than a decade, that, it takes a toll on people. And I still have a playlist, Britney Spears case. You can look for that, Body Language Guy, Britney Spears playlist, and you will get a playlist with all my Britney Spears videos before she was freed from that conservatorship. And at this moment, I think it's a bit. It's not the. I think it's not the best moment. I think this is like a transition. It's like when you have this photo of a person that is having a funny expression, but it's a transition between two states. So you can really analyze that transition between the two states. Okay, a real state, like the person is posting for something. There are images that just don't let itself are not good for that. So in this case, I think it's not the best moment to analyze Britney. I don't know what has she done. I'm trying to. I'm always following my friend Andy Signor. He was heavy on the Britney Spears case. He was. I'm sure that if anything comes up with Britney, he will be the first one telling the world that. So I'm sure that nothing of maybe for her has been relevant. I think she's happy, but nothing has changed as to deserve an actual analysis at this moment. Maybe I did not see in the best eyes, or thought it was the right thing to do, that she posed naked on Instagram, because you can post naked. That there's no problem at all with that. But there are ways for naked bodies to be artistic and not that on the nose, not that direct. I don't know. I'm speaking as an artist. Okay, those nudes were not artistic. They were just like, hey, look at me, this is my body, and that's it. and that is not interesting. That is the word. That is not interesting. Maybe she wanted to do that somehow, but and whatever is happening with Kevin Federline, with her ex-husband and her kids, well, I think that is private matters, and not something that is it's easy to. It's important to know all the details, and we don't know all the details until they sit down with, I don't know, Oprah, and tell about their all their struggles and whatever's going on. Prior to the Oprah interview, had you taken any interest in the British monarchy? Very little, very little. After the Oprah interview, I made some videos sporadically about them, but before that, no, not at all. I have to also to remember that my channel was mainly celebrities by that moment. It was mainly celebrities and some special cases of manipulation and narcissists. Why with some people can you tell they have spoken behind your back? I don't really quite understand the question, but it boils down also to find those contradictions. So to ask them, talk to them, and try to realize what kind of contradictions came up. Let me maybe ask questions to two people separately and try to notice if there are contradictions between their recollections or their arguments of the same event, of the same thing, and then that's when you have to reevaluate your friendships and your relationships. That could be. What sparked your fascination and interest in the royal family, specifically Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's relationship? This is a feedback loop with my audience. Oprah interview explodes. I made a video. That video, by the way, was my first 1 million views video, and was my first 2 million views video. And I said, well, people love this topic. But at that moment, I said, I don't want to just focus in just one topic. I just want to be free of focusing on any topic, okay, that I want. I don't want my channel to be just royals, okay. I was genuinely afraid of that. Afraid is the word. But I noticed that every time I talk about the royals in any way, the videos just had more views. People were more interested. People began to send me clips of Meghan, of Diana, of Catherine, and I had more and more content. And it was this feedback, this positive feedback that I made videos. People gave me more content. I made videos. People gave me content. I had more views, and well, my channel began to grow. I still made videos of other topics, but they just tanked, or maybe YouTube did not like certain topics. You know that YouTube is really picky in terms of being a family-friendly platform. And so I said, well, my audience, my beloved audience, really cares about this topic, and that's why I get so many threats or maybe trolling about why am I so obsessed with Meghan Markle. It's not being obsessed with Meghan Markle. My audience is glued to that, and I want to make my audience happy. That's it. That's what I want to do. Okay, it's as easy as it sounds. And people have told me many times this other argument that you have this magnificent skills, like Liam Neeson's sets of skills along a very long career. You know that line. And you should be focusing yourself in important topics. And I ask people, like publicly on Twitter, okay, I understand your point and thanks for the compliment. What important topics? What are important topics for you? I genuinely ask them, and you should be talking about politics. And I say, oh no, my God, not again, politics, no, please, God, no. Yeah, like The Office me, please, God, no, because politics you will always lose, no matter what. No matter if you talk as unbiased as you want of any political figure, you will lose because you will be attacked from both sides. I was not willing. I was not willing to do that. I already did that when I returned to Twitter on 2019 on Venezuela, Twitter Venezuela, the political. I was on Twitter, Venezuelan politics from February 2019 to October. In October, I said I can't do this any longer. People that I'm trying to help, people that I'm trying to take that like that blindfold off their eyes, that what it was, this opposition was not opposition at all. It was just a lot of puppets was trying to just support the Venezuelan regime. I'm getting political because I think I have the right to talk about Venezuela in these terms. And most people did not listen to me. Progressively, they realized that they were wrong and I was right. But that is not something that I was proud, because there was a really sad situation. But in those terms, politics, I had my nice and big and intensive taste of politics, and I don't want to go there. I also taught American politics, and that didn't end good either. That didn't. Oh my God, 1,500, almost 1,600 body language bodies. Thanks for being here. Even if this is just a random answering questions, you are here because you want to, not by some clickbait headline that I put out. Disgusting. You know that disgusting is a great word for headlines. You know that when I put disgusting in a headlines, because I mean that the content is gonna be good and I want you to see it. So I put disgusting details of, well, whatever is happening with the articles. All right. This in Spanish. Let me see the whole. I'm going to translate it for my English. How are you? I would love to that you make a summary about the Middleton grandparents, because I think that are the only real parents of the Wales kids. All right. Well, that is interesting. I will try to delve deep into that. I haven't talked at all about Catherine's family, not even about Pippa, so I should maybe develop them at some point. Okay, there's an interesting question here on this on the chats. Jesus, do you ever take a day off for your health? Thank you, Susan. Today is my day off. Today is like my day off, in the sense that I had this amazing video yesterday. And by the way, I was making this video about, well, being banned on YouTube. I was talking about Requiera Law. And you were telling me in the comments that Requiera Law had just been reinstated. That is great. Great news. Requiera Law was reinstated on YouTube. And I was going to take my day off today. But I think it was bad taste that after such an emotional video yesterday, I would not make a video today. I don't know. Today the royal news, world news were a bit slow, so I decided to make a video, just answer your questions, and I thought it would be a better approach, much better approach today. I don't think this is actual work, and that is the topic for another video. What do I think it's actual work, and what you should think is actual work? Is because this is really fun in many ways, like going on Twitter and beginning to see what is happening with the royals and all these pictures and all these memes and all these insights and all this blind gossip. It's fascinating. I had my doubts, I'm telling you, a few months back about being a full-on royal commentator, but at some point I realized people want to know about this. There's content about this every day. There are memes about this every day. There's shenanigans about this every day. People like the way I bring this news and my humor too, how my humor is a good fit for this topic. So it was the perfect storm in many ways. So I know that you might think that why don't you take 1 or 2 days off And in many ways, this is not an actual job, so to speak, or work, or something that drains my energy, because it's the opposite. It's something that gives me so much energy. I am so energized after these lives, after presenting you my slides and my insights of every day's Royal News, that I have trouble going to sleep later. That's why I had to move my lives 1 hour, because I was so energized after them that I could like be running 3 or 4 hours and not feel tired, because this actually energizes me. So sometimes I don't actually take days off, because I'm trying to make a sense of technical details of my life, of like camera or the software or anything, and I'm still working. That's actually working to bring you the best way to do this. And someone, hey, this is great. I have the perfect question here. The perfect question here that I wanted to answer. This was asked a couple times. Thanks, Mary, for asking this. Can you go back to your old format? Prefer that to your side view? I understand this in many ways. My old format, my old videos that I made prior July this year, up to July this year, I was making them. For personal reasons, as I'm telling you, I'm traveling a bit more. I had to change to a format that I could do on the road. With just a tiny briefcase full of equipment, and I also had to develop my confidence with the English language. And no, sometimes, well, all those videos were written first. I had a script. I can say that. I don't have any problem revealing you my video making secrets. All of them were written first, like with a script polished for more than 1 hour, and then recorded and then edited, and they took me around 7 to 8 hours daily to bring 8 minutes of content about just one topic. And that was the main problem, because sometimes I've said, well, I'm going to focus on this topic, and I have to dedicate myself 7 or 8 hours a day to write the script, to polish it, practice it, record that, edit and publish it, and be mindful of the statistics, the numbers, the comments, everything. That was really draining. It was fun to do. Had very fond memories of that era. Maybe at some point I will I will return to that format. I have all the templates. I have all my system of work for that. But it was very stressing at times, impossibly stressing, to be doing only just one topic and having to spend 8 hours daily in, let's say, my entire work, my entire work time. Is that it? Yeah, all the hours that I work in a day, maybe 8 hours, dedicated to just one topic, and maybe that topic bombed or was not that interesting, or maybe I was just finishing the video, and then all of a sudden, well, there was this breaking news that made those 8 hours of work obsolete or irrelevant or not that interesting. So it was disheartening. Or maybe I published the video and maybe you didn't like it that much, so it was disheartening to spend 8 hours every day, like literally every day, no matter what, even on Sundays, making these videos, and it was hit or miss. This format allows me to work faster, to develop my confidence in my train of thoughts and my English fluency, because I was reading a script on a teleprompter. I was reading my script. I was practicing my body language, okay, but I was reading. So if I messed that up, I just had to pause, go back, and read that again. Maybe I said, hey, this needs a better inflection. I pause, I go back, and recorded that again, and then I edited, and it was polished and polished and polished. But I was reading. So I was not developing this constant English. I was just writing and reading. And it's not this. This is much more difficult. And I've seen many people that make YouTube videos are not willing to make live videos because they just would not do this live. And so I wanted to be clear about that this change in format. At some point, maybe I could go back to that format, but again, when there's some breaking news, it's much easier to just turn on the camera and make a live reaction. And this, you have these comments. You have these comments that bring this feedback, and I get so many ideas that no matter if I studied this footage, for example, videos or images for a couple hours before, because I had to study the footage or the content hours before sitting down to write the script of the video. So it was not 8 hours, more than 8 hours. But in this case, I just turn on the camera, I put the footage that sometimes I haven't seen, like just go to it. And it's incredible, this feedback, and you have these ideas and the memes and everything. And I just maybe make these edits and make these summaries, and I realized that it's much easier, much faster for me, this format at this moment. Again, I think life is a constant change, constant evolution, and yes, my previous videos were much more polished, much more perfect. I remember fondly my first video on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard troubles. It was last year. I think the name of the video was, I think I changed the name of that video, but the original name of the video was All the Times Johnny Depp Cried for Help and Nobody Listened. And I remember that video because it was the first time that I made a video that I told to myself that video was perfect. The video was exactly as I wanted. It was my fear. Before starting this YouTube journey, I didn't want to make videos because I wanted them, because I will want them to be perfect, and I will not be able to make perfect videos. I know myself. I know I'm a perfectionist. I will not be able to make perfect videos. And like 200 videos down the line, or it was like 100 videos down the line, I don't remember exactly, I made a video about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And when I finished that, and when I uploaded this, I said, there's no flaws in here. I can't think of any flaws in here. So I made it. I made the perfect video that I wanted. So what? What now? What was the difference? Is people going to notice a difference? No, it's not going to notice that difference, because that difference is just in my head. I was just overthinking things. That's what I was telling about William's way of doing things and Harry's way of doing things. I'm not saying that William overthinks things. I'm saying that sometimes you have to act. You have to move faster. And these terms, I think it's much better if I act faster. I will do my best with this long form content, make it as engaging as possible. And of course, if you like the shorter, someone told me in another related question that the clips of my lives, the clips of my cut lives when I publish them here or on my Royal Road channel, they are not that good as my previous videos, and they can't be. It's impossible. As I'm telling you, it was like more than 8 hours of production. It was 1 hour of production for each minute of video produced every single day. That was overkill. That was insane. It's like I could do it like for 50 days straight, and I needed like 1 or 2 days of rest because my mind and my body were not just not living up to it. Was very difficult. So this is not an apology, because I think I try to do the best for you either way in any kind of format. It has been great for every single one of us. And maybe tomorrow I will change the format again. I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. So until then, rest assured I will still be bringing you the best question, that the best videos. Because I'm reading questions, the best videos that I can, reading your comments. No, I'm not burning out. With this format, I find it hard to burn out, because I'm enjoying this a lot. I'm reading your comments for a second, and I see many YouTubers that do this shows Monday to Friday, and I couldn't imagine not hanging out with you. It's like I'm telling you, you are my friends. You're hanging out with you Saturday or Sunday. It's just turning on the camera and just talking about current affairs. It's fun. It's something that is fun to me. So that is something that is not like work to me. Maybe it was more like work when I spent all this time in my videos before. I'm very proud of those videos. That production pipeline taught me a lot about myself, of getting organized, of being disciplined, of doing this, how to say that, the proper way that I thought I wanted it to be. But sometimes it's not about what you want, but what you have to do. And in some ways, I think this format is what I have to do right now. Speed, more speed. Yeah, if you are having fun, yes, this is more like it. If you're having fun, that means we're having fun with you. Yes, is important. All right. Thanks, Poppy, for your super chat. Black and White Network just got demonetized. Getting scary on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I was telling that yesterday. All your super chats I will be reading when I can at the end of your questions. I don't know how long. Oh my God, almost 1 hour. Almost 1 hour. If we don't finish, because I have like 200 questions. I don't know. I don't want to rush them. I don't want to rush the answers. Maybe we could do one session today, and we could do another session tomorrow. How about it? Why not? Can you give me some quick and easy to remember follow tips to realize if I'm actually making other uncomfortable and they're just being polite instead of actually chill with me? The first tip that I can give you, Lee Tan Hip, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. How to know if you're making people uncomfortable if they are not like establishing right eye contact with you, and you notice that they do with other people, or they are having this you see their feet pointing away from you, or their chest away from you, or they are not paraphrasing what you say, or they are not blinking. That is another tip. But it also depends on the circumstances, because sometimes it's not that you are making them uncomfortable. Maybe they need to be somewhere else, and they don't want to be mean with you, and you might feel that it's you. There's something wrong with you. That's why I tell you that you have to be kind to yourself. Maybe it's not you the problem. Maybe they have to be somewhere else, and it's not like they are not interested in what you have to say. But how can you know that? Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't know if people are just uncomfortable with you. But I think that is, if you are willing to talk in an engaging way and you work in your communication, that ultimately will be their problem. You can't control how people react, but you can control your own communication. So don't be so focused on how people react. You can't control that. It's a bad idea to focus on what you can't control, and you can't control people's reaction. You can control your communication style, your own listening, your own way of speaking, your own body language. So focus on that. That's one of the comments I got in my book on Amazon. 1-star review. This book is all about, which is wrong. It's not true. This book is all about one's self body language, not reading the body language of others. That is wrong. My book is focused on both things. But I make sure people learn in the first chapters to learn about their own body language, be aware of their own body language. I think it's silly to try to read others' body language without being aware of your own body language first. So I guess this person only read like 4 or 5 chapters and called it a day and sent a 1-star review. Oh, whatever. But well, have you read all those books behind you? Yes, I have, and some of them more than once. Right. Hello, Jesus. My question is, what's your favorite thing to do? What that makes you happy? Thank you for your content. Well, I've told you many times that I had this problem with video games, that I developed video game addiction, and luckily and joyfully and nicely I overcame that video game addiction, and at this moment I can truly enjoy video games. It's something that I like to do in a healthy way, so in a non addicted way. So I think I'm a very special part of the population that overcame an addiction, and at this moment can say, well, I have this test that I say I have to make sure if I'm not addicted to something, and the test is very simple. Can you live without that thing for 30 days straight? That is easy. 30 days. Do not. So I can say right now, I can say, well, I can go 30 days without playing video games. No big deal. And 30 days go by. There's no this withdrawal syndrome or anything, no change of humor. I can look for any other. I don't know, spend the same time with my musical instruments or my maybe my other passions. I want to be a sculptor too, for example, something that I could explore. I just change something for another, but in this case I enjoy playing video games. I think you were waiting, you were expecting for something more elaborate, more, I don't know, academic, more I don't know, more, but I like that. Why not? All right. The most important exercise of your life is feeling connected, or how do you want to convey communication service? So the most important exercise of my life is deadlifts. Well, I'm sorry. You put it that too easy. Yeah, the most important exercise of anyone's life is deadlifts. Okay, if you don't know what is the deadlift, you absolutely need to find out about deadlifts. The most complete exercise there is. But I understand your point. I know that that's not what you were asking. But the most important exercise of one's life is keeping your mind in the present moment. No other exercise is more fruitful and important than that. Besides deadlifts, of course. And if you are doing deadlifts and you're in the present moment, even better. I can't imagine one doing deadlifts for real and like thinking of the future. You can't. You're gonna hurt yourself, or thinking about the past. No. Deadlifts make you. Now that you think of it, deadlifts with your 80% peak weight, lifting weight, they force you to focus on the present moment. Yeah, it's like a meditation routine. That is nice insight out of this interesting question. Some people are asking about my Instagram account. What happened to my Instagram account? Yeah, I deactivated it for 1 week because I was getting overwhelmed from so many flanks with comments and tips, and I told you that you could follow me there and send me tips, but I was getting too much information, and I couldn't even answer your your comments on Instagram, so I just decided to deactivate it for maybe a week. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 120 kilos deadlifts brings back memories. Yeah, you know that sensation that you drop the bar, you lower the bar to the floor, and you feel like you are going to pass out. Yeah, I mean those deadlifts. Okay, hi Jesus. Important question too. I love your channel as I learn a lot about people. Have you ever been threatened by someone whose behavior or gestures you analyzed? Yes, and that's one of the reasons I had to leave Venezuela from 2009 to 2012. I was very critical of the Venezuelan government of Hugo Chavez. I think he really messed up many things in my country. The real word is he fucked up like everything. Hugo Chavez fucked up everything in Venezuela. I have to say that. There's no other way. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. Many people, almost everyone that knows me from Venezuela knows my political stances from that moment, from 2019. And yes, I was very critical and openly critical with full name back then, no holds barred, with my previous Twitter account that no longer exists. And I got death threats, and I got prosecuted or pursued, I don't know the exact word for that, by the government itself. I began appearing in lists like you have you have to go away. You have to leave the country sooner than later. So I had to lower. I just couldn't leave my country just like that. So I had to just cut short. I disappeared from every social media in 2013. I became a ghost. I closed all my social media in 2013, and I began planning my escape from the country, because I actually at any moment I could get persecuted. Yeah, I was on a hit list. I was in a couple hit lists. I'm sure that I'm still on those hit lists, so that's why I cannot go back. I cannot set foot in the country again, because it will not be a sound decision on my part, because alarms will set up, especially, and this is the worst part, in 2019, when I began to be critical of the opposition, because it was and it's still not a real opposition. It's just a facade. This still is. This is all Venezuelan stuff. Many people have fled the country for by any means. Of course, you're gonna have all these stories that the Venezuela is getting better, that is building back better. But this is still this bizarre parallel economy in US dollars, that if you have US dollars, you can have some sort of life, but you have to produce your own electricity, you have to produce your own water, you have to produce your own gasoline, your own gas, if that's possible, because don't count on anything that any service. So in many ways, I have to take my family out of there and leave Venezuela, and that's why, yes, I've been threatened. I get death threats, and that's why I prefer to, in many ways, to remain private about everything about my life, and that's why there's also questions about me. About where did you study? I also studied. I studied in many countries, but also in Venezuela. But where did I exactly study, and what did I exactly study? I prefer not to say, for many reasons. The main reason, in fact, is not privacy. The main reason, in fact, is I always, Despise is a word that I don't use anymore because I don't despise them anymore. I just feel pity for them, for people that are over reliant or over proud of their academic degrees. I find it silly, and now I find it silly. I think academic degrees are not that valued anymore. You're just studying, you're just getting in debt, or just investing 4 or 5 years of your life to become a cog in the system. And I became at some point a cog in the system. I didn't like it. I will never go back to that. And I understand that people simply don't have what it takes to just go on their own. Like it's a very complex situation. But, and of course, many people have academic degrees and are excellent people. There are not jerks. Not everyone that has an academic degree is a jerk, of course. Many people are excellent people. But I was surrounded from a very young age of this circle of academic mafia, so to speak. If you did not study a traditional career, which I certainly did not study. I've told you that I started studying advertising. Who the fuck studies advertising? Like what? How in their right mind studies advertising? Only me. That's not something that you study at college. That's not something that you do. In fact, that is a rant for another day. But it's like studying, going to college. Forgive me if some of you are doing this. It's going to college to study marketing. That is insane. That doesn't make sense. I can give you like 20 reasons why that doesn't make sense. But well, that's me. That's what's part of my experience studying marketing and advertising at an university. Big mistake. Won't make that again. But yeah, madman is not something that you go to an university to study. Bad idea. But well, so privacy is one of my greatest concerns because the Venezuelan government and the Venezuelan mafia is everywhere. It's everywhere, and maybe things have cooled down since, first, I don't talk about the Venezuelan government anymore, and two, I don't talk about the Venezuelan opposition anymore. And trust me, I never really knew which one of the two was worse. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I'm going to say. And well, people are saying that I tell the 20 reasons why you shouldn't study marketing at a university. And another time, I don't have that much time, but I think it's a bad idea. I think only thing that I could say is that artificial intelligence is gonna make the next 20 years or the next 10 years really interesting and really dangerous for some careers. The only careers that are going to be truly shielded for some time are going to be STEM careers: science, technology, engineering, and I forget the last letter. Science, technology, engineering, and what is the last letter? Where's the last letter? I forgot. What does STEM stand for? Sorry for the, yes, STEM. What's the maths? Yeah, maths or medicine? Maths or medicine? Mathematics. Oh, okay. Mathematics is outside science. Oh, right. That's why I thought it was mathematics, but I don't understand why mathematics is outside science. Well, you know how they say that mathematics is even beyond science. That's another. That's an interesting conversation. It's my mind, as I've told you a couple times, works in mysterious ways. And just an example, I was a very bad, like bad student at middle and high school, like bad student. I did not study. I always was like on the brink of repeating or of not making it. And after I finished high school, like 1 year into studying advertising, I don't know why, I began in parallel by myself studying physics. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I got that meme on Twitter. I got that meme on Twitter, and I'm trying to. I will highlight it. I have that meme right here. Let me see. I have that. Is that here? Yeah, that. What does it mean? No. I have another. I have that meme around here. Like, what? What the hell is wrong with you? Yeah, that's something that I nice. What the hell is wrong with you? Didn't you want to study what? Why are you studying physics on your own? Like, what the hell? Well, yes, that was a thing. Maybe I did not do drugs, but I instead did physics. Yeah, that's me. And yes, I love that era of my life. In fact, one of my favorite books is this book. This is the intersection between Eastern philosophy and physics. That is the Tao of physics from Fritjof Capra. Amazing book, by the way. He has another book. I forgot the name, but yeah, that is the kind of things that I was reading right off high school. On my own. I think it's a different era. We did not have TikTok. Our attention span was well more than 5 seconds. So I guess I guess yeah, I'm that kind of guy. So I've been threatened. That's why I'm very private about where I come from, where I am, where I'm going, where I've been. Yes, right. My question is, where are you from? Venezuela. That was quick. I love how you say later in that comical accent when reading about a period of time. Yeah, SpongeBob SquarePants is, I think it's a very interesting cartoon. So that's why I always say 5 minutes later. So if you have seen SpongeBob, I know what you know where it comes from. It's comic relief that always makes me laugh out loud and brings a smile to my face. I'm pleased for that, Colleen. Do you think the people Harry and Meghan have been blackmailing? You think the people? No, I think the royal family is not going to out Harry and Meghan. I think they're waiting for Harry and Meghan to out themselves, to just mess things up. And I think Harry and Meghan are very good at that. I think the royal family found out that yours truly is one of this brigade, of this army that points out the inconsistencies in Harry and Meghan. So I'm like doing this favor to the royal family somehow. I'm still waiting for my check, like according to Taz said these days. Like you must be some kind of paid mouthpiece from Kensington Palace. I'm waiting for my check. Not a single check yet. Right? William? Catherine? Where's my paycheck? No check yet. You can invite me for dinner. We can make a barbecue. I don't know, some kind stand-up comedy at Kensington Palace. Why not? That would be nice. A knighthood. Sir Battle Language guy. That would be nice. All right. So, some of you are saying that, also asking the question if I'm married. And I'm telling, yes, right? Remember the Liam Neeson movie, Taken. Liam Neeson movie. Right. I've noticed that Jada is so self-possessed she ignores her daughter. Well, that is not a question. Maybe I should be look for more videos on that. Um, Please read in your best Batman voice. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Why did you choose that particular one? Well, I've always wanted to have this power of being great at debates and being able to have this great comebacks at people. And I think the greatest comeback would be the one that people don't get at the moment, but they get like 2 or 3 days later. When you come back at someone and they are just like, what? I don't get. And 2 days later they realize, oh, this is what it's been. Oh, I'm going to hit that guy on the face. Yes, they realize they don't get it at the moment, but they realize 2 days later. And you know that we can make that kind of comeback. And that's a superpower. I always wanted the ability to be to be engaged in a debate and win any kind of debate. That's why I respect all these great speakers that are not only great at speaking, but at making a point about something, and sometimes a subject that is against their own values. That I think that is the greatest way that someone can the greatest skill when someone tells you, I'm not gonna say it, let's pick one topic, I don't know, death penalty. Okay, maybe that you are in a debates competition, and you don't know, you get a random topic from a bowl, and you get the death penalty. And do you have also like you have a random choice of you have to defend, be pro or against the death penalty, and you have like 15 minutes to prepare yourself, and then you go, the debate starts. I find that amazing. I would like to have that superpower, to be able to in 15 minutes like prepare myself for a debate about any topic, and no matter what side of the topic people say, hey, you have to defend this topic, even if I don't like that topic. Of course, there will be certain topics I'm not gonna mention here because it's gonna absolutely trigger YouTube's algorithm that I will not defend by any means. That those regarding PDF files, if what I'm talking about. Yes, if you did not get that right, I'm gonna say it again. PDF files, and I'm not talking about the Adobe products. No, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That I would never be able to defend. But well, I would love to be a great debater. Debater, is that a word? Debater. Well, I make clickbait titles. Debater. And debater is a word, right? Yeah, debater. I would love to be that. That would be a great superpower, and have these amazing comebacks in real time. Because you know what happens. It happens to me a lot when I was when I was in high school, that people tell you something mean, and you don't know what to say, and your lip is like shaking. You don't know what to say, and you just stay there like frozen. And yeah, 1 week later you realize I should have said this, and you figure out the best, the perfect comeback like 1 week later. How come that? How can that happen? That was so frustrating. And I said, I will have the gift of gab someday in my life. Yeah, that's why debate. Well, I will find out. Debatee. All right. Yeah, English is fascinating. Maybe I'm saying something Maybe I'm saying something out of place. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Thank you for 1,500 battle language buddies. Just here, listen to be absolutely random questions. Are you an introvert or extrovert? Introvert all the way. Being an extrovert just drains me of energy. I can be an extrovert. I can just switch. I have a switch. Totally extrovert. But that drains my energy that I need days to recover afterward. But I have the extrovert mode. All in. No holds barred. No problem. I can do it, but I need enough energy for that. All right. What kind of music do you like listening to? Heavy metal. That's it. First thing in the morning, heavy metal. Any favorite bands? Metallica, Megadeth, Judas Priest, Marilyn Manson too. Yeah, I'm sure that many of you are gonna frown. Oh my God, no. Why do you listen to that person? Well, I don't know. Nine Inch Nails. Rammstein, of course. That's so many heavy metal bands to choose from. Yes, that's what I like to. I like almost every kind of music, almost every kind of music. But to relax, let's relax. Maybe I pick something like just a couple guitars, heavy drums. And I go for that. Yeah, that's my big greetings from Poland. That's great. I don't know many Polish metal bands, but I'm going to find out. How is life in Venezuela? I know that things have been rough. Are things getting better? Well, better for people that can get dollars. For everybody else, it's hell on earth. Did you have this is the question. Did you have a happy childhood? No. And that is as far as I'm going with that question. But as I've told you, that has to do with narcissists. Where did you graduate from? Redacted. I'm sorry, but my RoboCop, my RoboCop programming doesn't allow me to reveal that kind of information for privacy reasons. Would you consider selling a battle language course online, something quick and accredited? I'd take it. I used to sell, and the last time I did was a few months back, but I haven't had time to update it, but I was always updating and upgrading that. And at the same for nomad life, personal reasons, this moment in my life, I don't have time to really focus on managing my learning courses. So I prefer to just deactivate them until further notice. I will tell you when I reactivate them. Whoa. Sus, thanks for all you do. Not a question, but a compliment. Thank you. I really appreciate the fact that you're a teacher. I think I am a teacher, but just by sharing my experiences. I don't think I'm a teacher in the sense that I'm teaching something. I'm just sharing what has worked for me. That's all. And yet still humble enough to be taught. Especially with your large platform, when you display this humility, you not only help yourself to learn, but also others who may be learning English as well. I've seen other YouTubers get offended. Yeah, I know that I simply know that I know nothing, as Socrates said. So much to still to learn, so much to yes. What can I tell you? I just try to keep up with things as long as I can. With most content and fields of research. I'm not an academic at the moment. I'm not connected to any formal research, but I try to keep myself updated on these topics, on behavior. And if whenever you want to find more about a certain topics, I have no qualms on sending you to the experts on these topics: Dr. Ramani, Dr. Todd Grande, the behavior panel, people that are amazing at what they do. These three YouTube channels are way out of my league in terms of knowledge and specialization in this field. So Dr. Ramani, Dr. Todd Grande, and the behavior panel, it's my go-to channels in the respective fields. What do you think will be the outcome of the Harkles and the royal family? I think at some point, I thought that at some point maybe they could go back to work as royals, but that's what I thought maybe 4 months ago. But I'm not so sure. I haven't asked myself that question lately, so I highly doubt that they will go back to actually work as royals, because I don't think King Charles will allow for it, or much less William will allow for it. I think this will be a Cold War for at least 4 or 5 years more. This will be a Cold War for 4 or 5 years more. I hope I'm wrong, because I don't think this is healthy for anyone. And I'm gonna say this: that won't be healthy for either Meghan or Harry. And yes, they are human, and they're people, and they have made mistakes, and I stand by my belief that any person can redeem themselves in any way at any point if they decide so, and they truly decide to do it and act upon it. And that Cold War of 4 or 5 years would not be healthy for them, not at all. And I think that's what has been taking a toll on Harry, and that's what has been affecting Harry both emotionally and his body language too, and not healthy at all. So I think I hope they work 4 or 5 years. No way they will be together. I think they could be together 4 or 5 years down the line, but not with the current way of acting. And if they keep on acting this way, and if they are together 5 years down the line, Harry will be vastly worse than he is now. And I'm not saying this in a criticizing or anything. I'm not saying this in a bad way or anything. I'm talking about in a human way. It's nothing that you will wish on anyone unless they bring that upon themselves. And in that case, there's nothing that you can do. If they bring that upon themselves, even with all the warnings that they have, all the warnings that Harry had from his family, well, that's nothing that they can do. And that will be painful for Charles, for William, for Catherine, for the whole family. Because they will always be asking the question, what could have we done different to change this outcome? That's inevitable. They feel empathy for Harry. They still feel empathy for Harry, even if they know that Harry has been toxic for himself and for the royal family. They still feel empathy for him. So they will always be asking the question, what could we have done different? And that is okay. It's okay to ask the question, but not allowing him to just tread on them or keep harming them. Okay, that's nothing that you allow. That's that lesson that we have to learn. Not because a close member of our family has these problems, you will allow them to drag you into their toxicity. That is wrong. You have to forgive them. You have to turn the other cheek. Bollocks. You don't have to. You are a person. You are an individual. They are a person, individual. You have the same rights. You have the right to live your own life free of toxic manipulations, narcissism, everything. So if they keep harming you, even if they are harming themselves, even they are, then you have all the right to just cut them off your life, to ghost them. That is, I think you have the right. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe your situation is different. But I think we have our responsibility with the divine energy that is flowing right through us, that is beating in our hearts. Our hearts are beating every beat with energy flowing through our bodies, and we have a responsibility with that energy. We have a responsibility with the temple of our body, with the temple of our mind, with our spirit. We have a huge responsibility to let someone else, no matter if they are our closest family member, to stain or downgrade or hurt or harm our energy and the energy of the people we truly care about. That is I think that is not right. I think that is not right. There's another topic. There's another topic about, and I have to mention that. We have mentioned many times the topic of narcissistic parents. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna mention this topic. We're already 1 hour and a half in. I'm gonna mention this topic because there's a problem with the topic of narcissistic parents. And there was this tweet I quote tweeted that someone that said, there's a fact of life that your mother is gonna love you no matter what. And that is simply not true. That is simply not true in many occasions. I don't deny that the love of a mother can be one of the greatest love that there can be, but that does not mean that every mother is like that. That is just plain wrong. And the topic of narcissistic parents, especially the topic of narcissistic mothers, is quite taboo. You don't talk about that. That is impossible. Mothers can't be like that. It's like you know. If you know, I am your mother. No one can love you more than I do. Yes. You know. I know you're watching my live right now. You know who you are. You don't have to answer. You don't have to send any kind of emoji or any kind of reply to agree with this. You can be just silent, but you know who you are. And highly likely my body language buddies are all over the world and have all sorts of spiritual and religious backgrounds. I'm a Christian Catholic, right? How do you stress that? Catholic. I'm sorry about that. I don't know in English. I've never needed to. Catholic. I'm sorry. Christian Catholic. I think I never pronounced that word in English. Never had to. A Christian Catholic. And I had this huge problem. With, I don't know which commandment is that. Is that the fifth? Is that the fifth commandment? I think it's the fifth. Yeah, the fifth commandment. Honor thy father and thy mother. The fifth commandment. Yeah, honor thy father and thy mother. I was the kind of boy who asked the uncomfortable questions. both at home and at school. And when I began, I went to a very Catholic school, very Catholic school, like very Catholic school, and I began to, this dogma hammer into my brain, because there's no other way. Let's get the. I'm a Christian Catholic, and yeah, this was hammer. There's no way, no other way. I began to ask questions, like uncomfortable questions, like what happens is you shall not kill. Okay, and what if someone is like going at me with a knife and it's gonna kill me? What should I do? They're trying to kill me. I have to kill them, and what happens then? Am I don't know, damned for? Am I going to hell for killing? So no. There are angles to this, because you should, in self-defense, these people that had to hammer this dogma into you did not like this kind of questions, because this kind of questions meant that you had to think for yourself. And you have to, when you begin to think for yourself, most probably you were going to find my favorite inconsistencies with the dogma. This just doesn't. It's like this doesn't make sense. It's like you know that story. Did Cain kill Abel? I don't remember the name in English. Cain killed Abel, and then Cain went away and he got married. Wait a minute. There was Adam, there was Eve, there was Cain, Abel, and Cain killed Abel, and he went away and he married. And who the fuck did he marry? No. This is a general interpretations. This is an interpretations. You have to. This is something. People got uncomfortable. That kind of questions, and I said, why? I'm genuinely interested. And I find it this fascinating. I studied the Bible by myself, not because someone told me into this. You might his sisters, but which sisters? Oh my God, this is just so wrong. Just so wrong that. But well, Cain married his sisters. The genetics. That will be genetic pain. Marrying your sister, that will give you genetic pain. Yes. No. That's not how. He married the pre-Adamic race. This is the kind of cop outs. This is like a cop out. What is the pre-Adamic race? It's like something like that. Did not the Bible doesn't say something about that? I don't remember. But so many cop-outs. But let's focus on that fifth commandment. Honor thy father and thy mother. And you are really perceptive, my body language buddies, and you have seen many of my videos. You begin to observe. You are observing me now. You are, filling up the equation. Oh, I can understand maybe why Jesus did not have a happy childhood, and it's the topic. You know that it fits. You're ready. I congratulate you if you jump to that conclusion, because the conclusion is right. But I asked the question: wait a minute. And what if your father hurts you, or your father leaves you, or your mother hurts you in a way, or your mother tries to? I remember that I stumbled upon very, very young of the case of parents that killed their child. That happens. That has happened millions of times along the history of humankind, and not in an accidental way, like on purpose. They did that. And I just asked the question: how can you honor someone just because? But legit question. Uncomfortable question. Oh my God, this we have to call his parents. No, 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 don't call me my parents. They're not gonna come either way. But yeah, I made that uncomfortable question. That's why I think my idea of family is very simple. You want respect. You want honor. You want love. You have to earn it, no matter who you are. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. It's the way I see it. I mean, it's part of the logic. You think if you believe in God, for example, you believe in God. And if you believe in God, you most probably, you believe He's all love. All right? God is love, because it will be a bit sad if you believe in an angry, vicious, evil God. That will be sad, like an angry God, like God's anger. I think that's nonsense, by the way. But whatever. That's my point of view. If you believe that God exists and He is all love, then it's fair to say that He's gonna be a fair God. Right? That is just plain logic. That's one axiom goes to the other. God exists. God, we hope so, is all love, and being all love is fair. He is fair. I say He because, well, I'm not gonna be playing with pronouns here. So at some point, you begin to ask, well, he's fair. Why do we have to honor humans that are humans like us, make mistakes like us, and can really fuck up things like us, and we could even live a virtuous life in spite of whatever they try to do to us in the opposite way? I think I'm trying to use my English to convey this idea. I know that for most of you it's not a comfortable idea. I'm sure, and I hope that most of you have never had to deal with such an idea. But I know that a high percentage of you, and a high I mean like 10% will be high for me, because if 150% of you have to deal with a narcissistic parent, that is still important, because a narcissistic parent, and especially a narcissistic mother, can fuck you up big time for life. No way around this. No, I learned how to deal with her. And no, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. There's no way. I'm sure that maybe you could be disappointed with what I'm saying, and you have all the right to be disappointed with what I'm saying. But the problem is that the logic is out there. There are people that just don't deserve to bear children. When you can cut what I just said and put my words out of context, and it will still be true. And I can repeat that again. There are people that don't deserve to bear children. They don't deserve to reproduce themselves. Not because they are not worthy in itself as human, because I think every human life is worthy. It's because they will not realize how sacred is the act of having children, of bringing children into this world. They would not understand. They will think it's whatever. It's I'm just having children so they can take care of me when I'm older. That is sad. That means that you have no project for yourself. How can you have children if you don't have a project for yourself? If you don't believe you are a miracle, that's insane. I always put the example of God, because I was also an atheist. I was also an atheist at some point of my life. I said, well, at this point, I don't believe in God. God does not exist. I went all Nietzsche in this. Okay? I went all Nietzsche in this. And God is dead for me. He doesn't exist. Well, how about it? Well, life is still running. Nothing happened. Then I went with all the arguments of atheists, and then I changed my mind. I went back to believing. I said, why not? That is thinking for yourself. I'm going to think by myself, and I realized and experience for myself, because this is the life I got. This is the energy that I got. And that's something that I encourage you to do. If you are content with what you believe, that is great. Go with that. There's no reason for you to change what you believe in, what you find, which is the right path. But if you have doubts about anything, not only if God exists, or your religion, or your beliefs, or your spirituality, or your own body, or your thoughts, or your country, or your society, or your family, you have the rights to have the doubts. You have the rights to doubt if your current state will be a misguided state for just reacting to what happened around you. But of course, a lot of that happens. A lot of that happens because you can be, you might have run around narcissistic parents, or grown narcissistic siblings, or narcissistic bosses, or teachers, or whatever, or every kind of figure of authority that could have exercised that narcissism with you. So we began answering totally random questions. Or I began answering totally random questions, and look where we landed. Look where we landed. These are not comfortable topics, not at all. And I also understand if you are afraid of not fitting in, because one of the strongest drives of humanity, of every human, is to be part of a tribe, is to be part of a group. There's something that has saved us countless times along all the history of humankind. Belonging to a group, belonging to a tribe, has literally saved us. We could have gone extinct, and we still have that desire to belong to a tribe. Or in the case of some like us that feel uncomfortable with almost any tribe, then, well, I will start my own tribe, my own community. And yes, sometimes that tribe is like a laid-back one when we talk about Meghan and the royal family, and that is a laid-back topic. But sometimes we have to talk about the real deal. We have to talk about the real problems. And yes, there are real problems in the world. And as people tell me, why are you wasting your skills in gossip? I don't think I'm wasting my skill in gossip, as long as my skills help people And it doesn't matter if my skills help people because they are listening, or we are sharing the royal family, or politics, or video games, or movies, or books, or I don't know, which other affairs could be, on fashion industry. I don't know. I think it could be any topic. I think I could focus on any topic if I let myself to. But as long as I'm helping you in any way, ask you the uncomfortable questions, I think that is my job. That is my actual job. Making you ask yourself uncomfortable questions. And yeah, some of my videos might have a lot of humor, might have a lot of jokes, but I always try to tell you or show you how to formulate these questions. Who is behind the camera? What do you think the intentions are? Do you think this body language matches the people's words? And this will be uncomfortable questions that you will ask yourself when in your daily life you stumble upon someone that you thought you could trust. And people told you that you could trust. And the society brags and says with trumpets that you can trust this person. But something tells you that you cannot. And you say to yourself, maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm the one wrong here, because everyone is saying that this person is amazing. And no, you are right. Your intuition is telling you things like it is. And the pressure of society, the pressure of belonging to this tribe, to your city, to your circle of friends, of colleagues, it's overwhelming at times. It's not easy to break from that spell. And I'm not saying that you have to just break up with everyone and just go away, because that's what Buddha did. The Buddha went alone. I don't know what, 2, 3, 5 years alone at the to a mountain to retreat and to meditate until under a cold shower for 5 years alone. And he said at the end, it was a waste of time. This was a waste of time, because the real feat, the real achievement, is realizing the truth and enlightenment, but among people, interacting with them. And that's why he went down the mountain. And that's when the real story began. I don't quite remember how it went, but I remember that isolating yourself was not there. Sometimes you have to isolate yourself with your thinking, and that's why some people have so much trouble. Especially young people have so much trouble being in silence with themselves. You see these memes in TikTok that young people have this, like I don't know, have this TV set with video clips playing, but they are listening to another music at the same time. They are texting someone. They're playing this turn-based game on an iPad. They have like 4 or 5 channels of stimuli just to not listen to their own thoughts, because they don't like them. They don't like to be alone with their own thoughts. Generally don't like. That's dangerous, not being able to listen to yourself, to have time for yourself, to just turn off the music, turn off TikTok, just sit there. It's the idea is getting bored, and then your thoughts about yourself, your questions, your uncomfortable questions will begin popping up. But who can get bored in the age of TikTok? Nobody. If you get bored, you slide up. If you get bored, you slide up. If you get bored, you slide up again. And up. And up. And again. And hours have passed. And you never got the chance to have not even 1 minute with your own thoughts. We are watching. We are witnessing the fall of modern civilization. I'm not exaggerating things. I'm not exaggerating things. You might have heard, it's normal. These generational things have been the same for centuries. Why do you think this is going to be different now? Well, for two things. People have less and less goals and purposes in life to achieve, because everything is instantaneous. Everything is instantaneous. Every gratification, every dopamine hit is instantaneous. And artificial intelligence, I'm telling you, and I'm warning people, it's going to change many things. And we're going to say, what do we do now? And there are other topics. There are other topics. I would love to talk at large about other topics that are even more uncomfortable and have to do with this. And have to do with this programming that you know that some group of people in this world are carrying. I'm going to move on to the next question, just with this thought. I'm going to leave you with this thought. You know that in China they have a different kind of TikTok than in the rest of the world? That TikTok in China upholds family values, people's purpose, principles. It's like it's something that tries to bring people up. And for the rest of the world, is bringing people down, depressed, anxious, just trying to be famous for 5 seconds. It's not only China, but many other factions in the world working for their own interest. You know this. I know for a fact. At some point, I'm going to go full Russell Brand with all this. I'm gonna go full Russell Brand with all this. But, and I'm sure it's not gonna be on YouTube. That's for sure. That is for sure. Okay. Oh my God, that's been a lot. 2 hours now. 2 hours now. What do you think of today's topic? Oh, today's topic has been that word, British English, controversy, American English, controversy. Oh, why don't you agree with something for once? Why don't you agree with something? Maybe in Rumble I could be a bit more polemic at this. Put your Russell Brand stuff on Rumble. Maybe, why not? Why not? I love when I made my, just to finish and begin. I'm going to begin reading the super chats, and maybe tomorrow I will continue this Q&A live. 2 hours now. I don't want to stress my voice that much. I know that when I do lives beyond 2 hours, then I have trouble keeping up the next day and the next day, and it begins to snowball, and I don't want that to happen. And I know that you don't want that to happen. But I remember that when I was making my recorded videos, there was a sentence that I like to insert every now and then. It was this sentence. Tell me that you don't find at least this a bit suspicious. I like that sentence because it's not like ramming a dogma into your face. Like, this is what it is. This is body language is this way or that way. I don't like that. And that's another reason why I don't like to talk about my degrees. That, yes, are more than one anymore. Because I don't want you to pay attention to me because I have this or that degree, or because I studied in this or that university. Because that is sad. Because, I'm going to listen to him because he has a PhD and this and that. And that is nice that people achieve that feat of having a PhD of 4 years of research. That is no easy task, and that is amazing. That is awesome. But in my case, I just wanted to try this. What if I go like naked with this? What if I just try to make people think, and not because hey, this guy did this and made that and studied this and achieved that? No. Just making you ask easy and difficult questions. And that's what I love when I started philosophy from the Socratic method. And yes, I also studied education to a huge extent. And yes, I had a lot of trouble studying education because I have this crazy theories to make an educational revolution, and everyone said that I was insane. And I had to say, literally, fuck it. I will teach things my way. And basically that's what I'm doing right now. I had way too many problems in academia, and I had to just invoke the F card. Fuck it. I will teach this my way. So that's what I love from the Socratic method. I just ask questions sometimes. I show you, I make you see with your own eyes things. I point to text, to images, to videos, to sounds, and just ask you, don't you find this at least a bit suspicious? That's all that I do. I don't like dogmas. I think the best skill that we can have is twofold. That is listening and thinking. And yes, some of you told me that I should make a video about critical thinking. Fascinating topic. This is like a video. This video was like the last 30 minutes was like a video on critical thinking. Because critical thinking is just asking uncomfortable questions. Uncomfortable questions for you and uncomfortable questions for the people that are in charge of the knowledge or the facts. Okay, you're in charge of the facts. This is something that I don't understand. I genuinely want to understand, not just memorize or learn. I want to understand so I can apply this knowledge for myself. And I won't be able to apply that unless I understand it. I have an actual cognitive, intellectual grasp of it. People don't like that. People don't like to be asked questions sometimes. And sometimes it's most of the time. So I think this was just where great insights. Oh my God, so many super chats. I need to read your super chats. 2 hours. I need to take care of my boys. I remember those 6-hour lives, 8-hour lives with Amber Heard. Oh my God, Well, but in most of those lives, I was not speaking. I was just writing, just typing. Big difference. Big difference back then. Kate Raven Graham, super sticker. Thanks, Kate. MJP, super chat. Thank you. Thanks for that super chat. Oh my God, MJP again left without message. Okay, interesting. MJ was she, but I don't know your pronouns. Can't stay long, but we'll watch tomorrow. Can we do anything to help ban YouTubers instead of just waiting till they come back? Twitter is the best platform to get YouTubers back. That's where you can make noise, actual noise, to help YouTubers back. So I think my main platforms, I think not. My main platforms are YouTube and on Twitter. Okay, Fortune Cookies tarot by Annabelle. How does autism and other social disabilities affect modern behavior analysis? It's on point, your questions, because it's a totally different realm. The problem is when people try to say that you can analyze this person, they are autistic, but they have not been like formally diagnosed, so you can never tell. That's why I have my reservations with allegedly Elon Musk is autistic, but it's always a spectrum. So it's like saying I don't know. It's so wide a spectrum. It's like it's like something that one has to be careful with. So it actually affects a lot. That's why I always try to add as many signals that I can, not only body language, not only emotional intelligence, so we can have a better picture of what is going on. I think that's what we should do. Can you translate and re-upload early Megan videos? Which to which well, I don't think I will, because that will be too much work that I'm not I don't know, no time, and I don't want even, I don't have even time to supervise that translation. I'm sorry, that will be still in English. Most of my Megan videos are in English and Spanish. That's those are the two options. Crime Scene Mary. Megan has the me, myself, and I syndrome. Oh, I agree. No way around that. Bonnie, much love and bliss. Do you think the Harkles will last? Well, yes, I think at least 4 or 5 years at a minimum. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, if they keep their current shenanigans, that will not end well. Do you think Harry and Meghan will? You really want to know about this? Well, yeah, 5 years, at least 5 years. But if they don't change their ways, Harry's gonna pay that in blood. Would you ever do a body language analysis on YouTube? Psychics like me? Well, maybe. Why not? At some point, I could do that. That is an interesting field. It's like people tell me, how do you talk about astrology? How do you talk about numerology? How do you talk about all this pseudoscience? And why? And people tell me that body language, by the way, is a pseudoscience, but it's not. But in regards of pseudosciences and mediums and psychics and everything and astrology, I will only say one thing. We are living in a world that for someone 1,000 years ago will be complete black magic. A complete black magic. They will not be able to live. They will go insane. Okay? They will believe that all this is black magic. So back then, we will not be able to understand the world we are living today. So there are things at this moment that we don't quite understand. That doesn't mean that we will be able to understand and grasp and dominate and control and profit from them 1,000 years in the future. Who knows? So I'm quite open-minded. There are people, there are really wackos out there, no doubt about that. But I always try my fascination in sociology too, and how tribes can form around these pseudosciences. And that's also fascinating. Also good for a topic for another video. Thanks for asking that. Fortune Cookies Tarot by Annabelle. Laurie Wilcox, thanks for the super sticker. That's nice of you. Caroline Nielsen, what about the facts of annual first wedding? Megan's? I have to delve deeper into that. Wandy, $25. Thanks, Wandy. Yeah, I will stay safe. Thank you. Appreciate your comment. Tina Bambina, Jesus, do you have any pets? Not at this moment because, well, it's quite hard. Nomad lifestyle and having pets, it's a bit complicated. Martha, please explain how super chats and super stickers work. Well, it's you have the option in the chat, but you have to, most probably in your computer or your mobile phone, you can have the option. This is like a $sign option right behind the comment that you can send a comment with a tip. Maybe if you're watching from a TV set, it's much difficult. I already read this comment from Puppy Cakes. The Black and White Network just got demonetized. Chris Van Dusen. Thank you, Chris. Have you considered analyzing police murder interrogations? Also love your channel. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, the problem that I have with that is that that is an energy I don't want to connect myself with. That is I used to work with that topic, actually work with that topic. That's something that for an empath like me, well, it's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your general health. So I had to leave that. And at the same time, YouTube has have some problem with certain topics at the same time. So, navigating those topics is a bit difficult. It's difficult for me. It's difficult for YouTube. So that's why I don't touch them in here. And at the same time, they are delicate and difficult topics in itself, intrinsically difficult topics, because you have to be very careful for what you say and not be misinterpreted. Maybe there's a case that is going on, and that could I have a platform of at least there's 5 million body language bodies that watch my videos every month, so I have to be careful in that regard. The influence and the effect that can have any of my analysis on that kind of topics, so I have to be really careful about it, be mindful. And yes, my attorney can immediately, Jesus, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? I have white hair already. Our boy Li. Hi, Jesus, from Michelle in Melbourne. I love being part of this group. Do you think Harry knew Meghan's past fully before he married her? No. Have a lovely Sunday, everyone. No, I don't think he knew everything about Meghan. I think Buckingham Palace, the Scotland Yard, everyone made sure to, go all the way to find out who this Meghan Markle was. They found things, but at the same time, I think Harry did not care about them, and he just was willing to, Megan be the catalyst. I think maybe that past, that we don't know every single detail about that, maybe that past helped Harry say, well, she is the disruptive catalyst that I need to just break from this. Okay, maybe that actually helped. Maybe the fact that Megan was not someone that, as an individual, was going to conform to royal norms. Maybe that's what attracted to him, as in, well, she saved me from this. Maybe that could be that twisted. I would not be surprised. All right, I love this question. This is amazing. This is some Miss Millie. With that said, what do you think of Kanye then? Kanye is a personality. This he wants to. Of course, there's a lot of marketing involved. He wants to be. He knows how to market his brand. He knows how to steer the public opinion. He's got a point. Sometimes he's got a wacky attitude. I think you have to take what he is and what he says with a grain of salt. And that is for everything. It's like the recurrent topic of this video. Like, think for yourself. Like, listen. Listen to Kanye, for example. The other name that, well, it's dropped every now and then is Andrew Tate, for example. Controversial, of course. But at times, these subjects, these figures, they say things that are not the norm. Maybe they just steer your beliefs just the tiny bit that you need to ask yourself the question. I'm not saying that blindly following anyone or blindly accepting everyone from everybody's mouth, but I'm just saying, as I'm telling, very important skill, listening. What is the stance of this person? Why people hate this person? Why do people support this person? Why is everybody trying to cancel this person? You know, that's important to have an understanding of the whole forest, which is critical for any time of the world, any time of humanity, has been a critical skill. Carmela Divine, super sticker, thank you. We have a little puppy face, and now we have a kitty face. Miami Jules 1, super sticker, and now we have a kitty face. Someone asked a question. I saw a question around there. Are you a dog person or a cat person? And I, please, why not we talk about politics instead? Let's talk about Trump and Biden. Let's talk about, I don't know, Putin and Zelensky. Why not let's a less controversy? Well, how are you going to ask me that? Are you a puppy or a kitty person? A dog or a cat person? That is no. That will be fire. That will be fire. That will be a 28-hour live discussion. That would be insane. Don't do that to me. I think both options are don't have to be exclusive. Both dogs and cats are amazing in their own regard, and well, most memes of dogs and cats are true. And yes, totally different beings. You can say you like both. You're not gonna like that answer. I like both. Oh, how boring answer. I think both of them. Yeah, let's instead talk about politics. Let's talk about, I don't know, Biden, Trump. Let's go to a less controversial topic. Thanks, Michelle, for your super sticker. Miss Chan, are all body language same culturally? No, they are not. There's always cultural differences. They're part of body language. For example, our facial expressions that are just the same. The 7 basic emotions in the face are standard for every human being. Even people that are born blind, they still show the same facial expression when they are trying to show the emotion. So they're pretty much universal. Okay, DJ. For the third time this live, I'm taken like the Liam Neeson movie. Not single, taken. All right. Sandra Parrot, there's real evil in the world, and when you truly believe you can get through the worst of times because you are not alone, God will be with you. Thanks, Sandra. You are right. God will be with us. Oh, interesting topics. No 167. Could you please analyze the Queen at her grandchildren's weddings, maybe her kids as well? Hey, why not? Nice topic. Thanks, the real Ram Ram, for your super sticker. Thanks, Lexi Mish. Thanks for trusting us so much. I live with mine. Your what? I don't know what your what are you talking about, but more power to you. Oh, this is way. I saw this question somewhere else. If you assume that you're a member of the royal family, who is the current royal person who you feel is you in terms of thinking or personality? Well, there's a problem because I don't know them that well to be able to know into their thinking or their personality. I would love to have that opportunity to delve down into their thinking, their personality, their behavior. How do they make decisions? That will be a fascinating topic. And someone asked me, who will be the royal family member that I would like to meet? The most remote of them, of course, is Catherine. I've said that many times. I'm always fascinated by Catherine, but that's topic for another video. We could talk about Catherine for hours. Yeah, totally biased. Patrice Mooney, thanks. Patrice. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. Where in Patrice? In which syllable do you stress the name? Is in the pe or in the tree? DJW, will you come visit Canada? I'm in Alberta. Alberta is fascinating. It's so open, so much nature. It's an amazing sight. I will be happy to take you and your family to the mountains and sightseeing. Yeah, I haven't been to Alberta, but I know the place. At some point in my life, I thought of migrating to Canada, and Alberta was a nice choice. What is my favorite sweet? Says Scotty79. What is my favorite sweet? Let's see. I don't have that much of a sweet tooth, but you buy me one of these donuts that are filled with cream, and you will have my attention. Okay, let's do that. One donut. It doesn't have to be any special kind of donut. It can be any kind of donut. Why not? I'm gonna be picky with a sweet. CJW, how do you deal with someone who does or says something wrong but turns it on you like you're the one in the wrong? I really enjoy your channel. Well, it depends if you are, in the end, you are responsible of something or the thing that they are saying. You have to make it clear with the other people involved, because most of the time this person that is turning things on you is doing so to prove that to other people, to third parties. If it's only between they and you, then I suggest that you analyze you realize what is happening, and that is a toxic behavior, and you have to backtrack and say, hey, how many times this person has said something wrong but has turned it on me. And if it has been more than a handful of times and realize that, well, this is not a person that is worth hanging around, I have a lot of problem saying that, hey, these are these tools to fight narcissists, but it's not, or fight manipulators. It's not like fighting them. The idea is not hanging out with them in the first place. Okay, it's like this line from War Games, the movie, like a strange game. The only winning move is not to play. Yeah, it's that is the game with manipulators. That's the game with narcissists. The only winning move with them is not to play. Is not to be around them. Is to ghost them. Is to cut them from your life. There's no dealing with them. That will only sap your energy. I cannot give you any recommendation that this is how to deal with a narcissistic boss. That will be irresponsible on my part. Okay, that's not something that I could stand for. All right. Thanks, Karen. Thank you for your honesty and sharing with all of us. Blessings to you and your family. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for your amazing super chat. Poppy Cakes, amazing super chat of $50. Thank you. Enjoy your mimicking voices, fun personalities. Just be you. Success follows. You go tour, do shows. I could. Why not? But at the moment, I'm just focused on where I'm gonna go next. Thanks, Poppy. Jennifer Siami, did you have to get therapy? I had to get therapy, but guess what? What a man does. A man will do anything instead of going to therapy. And most of my problems and my video game addiction, for example, I did not go to therapy. I just worked that out myself. Think that I don't recommend in general. You should at least go to someone that can help you with that. Well, at least someone that went through the same. That will be vastly easier. And now in the internet is really easy to find people that share your same struggles. It's always better to go to therapy. It's always better to go to a therapist. But at maybe Twitter and YouTube, you can find people that share their own experiences, and you can have insights, and you can realize that you're not crazy. You're not only one with these kind of problems, and you can reach out to them and ask them, how do you overcome this, if they don't say it directly. Now, be warned that in internet there's all these people that are going to make it seem like they were these problems, like that did it therapy, and they overcome this, and then buy my book and then do my course, and because that's how you will instantly solve your problem. The best people is the one that give you general insights so you can realize what you have, what you're going through, that you're not alone, that they're willing to support you in the comments or in Twitter, willing to interact with you, and give you, maybe they wrote an article and point you in the direction of that article, and there's no pressure to buy anything. That is the best people that you can find. If there's pressure to buy something, red flag. Okay, red flag. If you don't want to go to therapy, if you want to work things on your own, you're totally free to do so. There's no problem with that. No shame in that, trying to work things on your own. But be mindful of who you look for help. And this is something that another sentence that I saw the other day, very interesting. Be careful of who do you ask advice from. Who do you ask for advice? Because maybe they don't have what you need. I think that is an important thing. Okay, final super chat for today. Oh my God, I'm not gonna say your name. for the super chat, but I'm gonna read your super chat. Thank you. My elderly narcissistic mother I live with. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. For privacy reasons, I'm not gonna highlight your super chat, but well, that's something that happens. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? My body language buddies. Today was my free day, and I spoke for 2 hours and a half. Maybe tomorrow we have more royal gossip or body language insights. Who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do today. But what I do know is that I'll be working with a lot of fun for you behind and in front of the camera to bring you as much fun and joy as I can. Until then, my body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and maybe I will continue this. All these questions later. I will do it. Until then, remember the two most important words: much love and bliss. Take care, because I love you, every single one of you. Bye bye. Have a great night or day, wherever you are. Thank you.